Hey there, friends, it's Nick. Right, technique number 2 is change, emphasizing change, because one of the problems I see with a lot of business narratives is that sense that there's kind of a gradual sort of progression, that it's business as usual, and it's the point is that change is the atomic level of story, and if nothing's really changing, you really don't have a story, right? So I'll give you an example. So my origin story, as you may have seen or heard, it starts in 2002 when the business was nearly bankrupt. And I go through the various things that happened in the sort of following year or so to the point where I had my big insight about stories and how I could use them to sell our services. Now, I could finish my story at the point 2 or 3 years later when the business was really humming. And that would be, a pretty significant change. We're nearly bankrupt, and now in 2005, we've suddenly got money in the bank and we've got clients, so we've got more work that we can cope with and all that kind of thing. But I don't do that. When I finish the story, I start at the near bankruptcy, and I go all the way to here, 2018, which is when I sold the business. And I don't even just say I sold the business. I say I sold the business, and when I sold it, we had clients in the UK, in Europe, in North America, and Asia. In other words, I'm making the biggest possible change, the biggest possible difference in that story, through that story. And you can look at your stories and emphasize, seek those things which you can tweak, the parts that you can tweak to emphasize the change, whether it's for you, your personal brand or whatever, or if you're talking about your services, so you might be using your clients like case studies. How can you emphasize the biggest change possible?